When I think about the landmine field of health insurance, man, that can just cause so much confusion for so many people in our country. Really, what's available, what's worth it, what's not, where can we find clarity, and what's possible in our life when we do have confidence and we do have clarity and we know that we have the best plan for us, both financially and physically, and we have trust in the person that made it for us. Yes, wouldn't that be great? Courteney, this is your life's passion. So you're
Yeah.
our guest today on the Interstate, and I want to welcome Courteney Petravage into the Interstate. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Bridget. I'm so excited to be here.
When we were talking, you were sharing that this is an area where it's rife with misinformation.
Yeah.
Uh, There People are busy, right, with
Yep.
their regular lives. So just they go along, not thinking about it, thinking about it at weird times. And then,
Yeah.
when do they have the time to stop and figure out what's best for them?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so often people find out that they lucked out in the roulette wheel when they have a medical issue and they find out, oh, wow, our insurance is really good. Or, as you know, oftentimes they find out, wow, this isn't what I thought it was at all. I didn't understand it. And now we're in a financial situation where we have to make tough choices about care and
Yeah.
they don't have the right coverage.
Right.
Am I capturing this right?
Absolutely. I mean, and the third thing is, shoot, I waited too long. I knew I should have gotten that done. Now I
Right.
have medical expenses. What do I do now that I don't have coverage? Where to next? So yeah, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of intimidation. People want to just push it off to the back burner. And I totally get it. Like, health insurance, any kind of insurance, a lot of people just think is a scam. And a lot of plans are designed not to pay out. So
Right.
I get it. I get the pushing it off. I did it for a long time as well until I started hearing the horror stories and seeing it firsthand. And until it hits home, I think that goes with a lot of things. Until it really impacts you, you don't have a push to change.
Right. And most people that are in jobs where it just comes with their job, they just take whatever it is that comes with their job. And you know better than I do, but my guess is that they probably just take the one that is the least amount per
The
paycheck.
cheapest.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, they go with the lowest because a lot of people are like, I'm healthy. I never use it. Therefore, I'm never going to use it, which is
Right.
just a
Not true.
fallacy. So.
Yeah, that's right. So, and you're remarkably passionate about this.
Very much so. It didn't start that way. I did not grow up thinking I was going to be a health insurance agent. That's
I was going to ask, did you
not my
play a
lifelong
health
dream.
insurance agent when you were 8?
Absolutely not, but it's definitely grown over time. I have a really good relationship with my clients, and it's been really cool to see just the word of mouth growth from my business and people introducing me to their friends and family and speaking highly about the education that I've provided. If anything, everyone I talk to, I just want them to learn something um, regarding the health industry, not even
Right.
insurance, just about healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
So let me take a step back and I'll
Yeah.
share with everyone because we jumped straight into it.
Right.
Courteney, at the age of 28, you already have your own health insurance company, your own brokerage, and it is Petravage Insurance.
Yes.
And you specialize in taking the time to get to know your client and actually not only customizing options for them, but making sure that you educate them
Yeah.
on what's possible, going beyond here's what you'd pay each month and here's what's covered, going into how can this help you live a healthy life and reduce your stress and anxiety around the entire area. So I'm going to instead of trying to speak on your behalf, I'm going to let you share more about that mission and your passion and how this came about.
Yeah. Well, the passion definitely grew over time. I went to school at Texas A&M University, went to college at A&M, and studied communication. Thought I was going to go into hospitality, into hotels. I had a passion for meeting people, knowing people's stories, and just seeing people in all walks of life and connecting with them. And then I graduated in 2020 when COVID hit. And what sparked my entrance into this job is all of the people that were getting laid off, a lot of people took that season as an opportunity to pursue their passions and start their own businesses and or go into a new industry, a new role that may have had different benefits. But it was such a blessing to start then because I learned how many people had been kind of hating what they did because of the benefits that were going along with the job. And I think
Right.
you have a similar story. You were in corporate America, I believe,
Yes,
and then went into real estate.
I
And
did.
so that jump can be very daunting, very intimidating. So when I first started, I got recruited from a country club that I was working at. And at first I was like, immediately, no, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not here to make people buy something that they don't need. I don't want to push anything onto them. I thought of sales as just sleazy. I hate to say it, but
Right.
not everyone in it, but just it just gave me the ick.
Mhm.
I didn't like the idea of it, and then as I started doing more and more research into it and seeing how many different options were out there, and again, during the time of COVID when people were just kinda losing benefits, um, and kinda putting it on the back burner, it really didn't sit right with me that there were so many people out there in my role as insurance brokers that were just pushing for the sale and then dropping people. And I was talking to so many people that were like, you know what? I don't even know what I signed up with. I signed up with this guy and my follow-up question is, do you still have their contact? Do you know their name? Do you know where they are? No, no, no. I didn't even think to
Wow.
ask. Everything just sounded great. It was easy, it was cheap, and
Mhm.
so I just went with it. It's better to have something than nothing. And to that I would say it's really not.
Right.
If you are paying for something, especially as expensive as health insurance typically is, you want to make sure that it's going to work when you need it to work.
Right.
There's no such thing as a perfect health insurance plan, but everyone thinks that their health insurance plan is great until they have to use it. And then that's when it gets real is like, okay, what do my benefits actually look like? So when I started my company in 2021, my main target audience was actually real estate and people
Mhm.
in trades and people that were self-employed. And a lot of people that I talk to are like, I haven't had health insurance for years. And
Right.
luckily it's been great, but I never go to the doctor. I maybe go in for my annual labs, but I'm healthy. I don't take medications. I'm not going to use health insurance. And that is a misunderstanding of the purpose of health insurance. And it's to protect from medical bankruptcy, which is two-thirds of the reason for people filing bankruptcy in the
That's right.
US is due to unpaid medical bills.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but the cost of medical expenses ain't going down. It is not
No.
getting any cheaper. It is just continuing to rise.
Right.
And even for people that are successful, that have money in the bank, I mean, your health can change overnight with the drop of a hat. If
Yep.
you are in a coma, if you get cancer, 40% of Americans are now getting cancer at some point in their lifetime. So you're really rolling the dice with your hard-earned money. The work that you've put into building a savings can be depleted so quickly.
So quickly.
So, the purpose of health insurance, just to reiterate, is to protect from financial bankruptcy. Now, where I come in is I back that and I tell people, listen, we don't have to do a fully robust health plan. Let's remember why we have this. If you want to continue paying for doctor's visits as you go, great. I'm a huge advocate of that. And I'll get into that a little bit later. The differences between having insurance and not, sometimes it makes sense not to use your health insurance. Just like you're not going to use your car insurance for oil
For every little
changes,
thing.
maintenance,
That's
like
right.
that doesn't make sense. You're also not going to not have auto insurance just because you've never been in a wreck, right?
Right. That's right.
So it's like just kind of talking people through that logic of, hey, I am glad you've never had to use it. I hope you never have to use this, but we need this in place just in case. And one thing I really pride myself in as far as getting in this industry and doing what I do is I'm not here just to help people evaluate the industry. I'm not just here to help people customize a plan. I'm also in everyone's back pocket over time because whenever you talk to an insurance broker and you sign up for something, everything sounds great. And then 6 months, 6 years go by and you're like, oh, I've never had to use this, but now I do. I don't remember anything. My clients get to call me directly and they can say,
Right.
"Hey, Courtney, this is what's changed. My son just got diagnosed with, this or that. We just went to the ER last night. What are we going to be facing? Is there anything that we can do to expedite this process?" I hold people's hands through the claims processing. And I even go to bat for my clients. I'm a huge advocate for my clients, and I will speak to the hospital. I will speak to the insurance companies with them and make sure that they're not getting taken advantage of, because so many people are, just because the average person is uninformed as far as the way that the insurance industry works. So that was very long winded. I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 5 years. And yeah, I enjoy helping people, period.
I think it's great. And so because you have your own brokerage, you are a broker. So you can meet with someone and find out what they're looking for and what they need. And
Yeah.
then you go and you search and find what's out there that would bring that for them.
Exactly. And sometimes we have to get creative. Sometimes we can bundle different plans together. One really important aspect of that is prescriptions. There's so many different prescriptions now. People that are on specialty medications, their plans need to look different than others. I mean, even people within the same family. I think a lot of people they kind of get hesitant to go on to different health plans within the same family. We don't have to want to worry about different ID cards
Hmm.
or two different premium payments. And it's like, well, you guys are two different people. You have two
Right.
different health circumstances. So shouldn't your health coverage look different?
Right.
Kind of walking people through that.
That's funny. I had not even ever thought of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a thing I do quite often. And what's less common is helping people that have benefits through their job if it's like a larger company. But more and more I come into people, especially here in the Valley in Arizona, that are part of small businesses that have 5 to 10 employees, and the company offers benefits, but the employee is paying basically the full amount. And sometimes
That's right.
a lot of the times they're overpaying. And
Mhm.
so to those people, I'm like, I'd love to help you as an individual, but let's also rope in your employer, because they probably just don't know that there's other options out there for you guys. So it's good
Right.
that they're offering benefits. Their heart is likely in the right place because they want to make sure that you have financial protection, but they just don't have the time, the energy, or the resources to find things that are actually suitable for their small business. So yeah, that's what I specialize in, is self-employed people, individuals, families, and then also small businesses.
Small
And when I
businesses.
say small, I say under 10 employees.
Okay.
So,
And it's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's such a funny shift. It's almost like you're the accidental expert, like
Yeah.
because you were headed in a different direction and
Totally.
whoop, here you are. But it's
Totally.
funny. I feel like what you're doing incorporates a lot of what was drawing you to want to be in hospitality because
Yeah.
you are involved with people. You're
Yep.
face to face. You're getting to know not just one family as a unit, but the members of the family. And they're all over in different ages, stages, and, with different needs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like you're probably getting some of the benefit that you were seeking with a
Oh
hospitality
my gosh. Oh
career.
my gosh. So I think even more so.
I was going to say, maybe more. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Because I have my name on my business. If there's changes that I want to implement, if there's a meeting that I need to spend 3 hours on, I'm going to spend 3 hours on it. If I need to
Mhm.
drive, I'm going to drive. I haven't needed to fly anywhere, but if I had to fly to someone, I would do it. My clients are just at the very center of my heart. Yeah, you're totally hit the nail on the head. I'm very grateful that I landed here. Never could have anticipated that I would actually enjoy it.
Right.
And from here, it's continuing to do what I do. Another aspect of my relationship with my clients is I am a Christian. I'm a God-fearing woman. I fully
Mhm.
believe in the power of prayer. So whether my clients know it or not, I am praying over them and their situations. Insurance is not perfect. I am here to hold people's hands and walk them through it. Sometimes claims processing takes a little longer than it should, and so I am prayerful through those times, and I am very good about following up and staying in communication so that people don't think that they're out on their own and
Right.
figuring this life out by themselves.
Right. They have a relationship with you
Right. Yeah.
where they're not just, where's the card? Oh, it's in my other purse.
Right.
Where's the 800 number? Oh,
Yeah.
833, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and then,
Wait on
yeah,
hold
so
for
it's
30
it's a
minutes.
human. 30
Yeah.
minutes on a good day.
I know it. I
Right,
know it.
right.
And those are also tasks that I take off my clients out of my clients' hands when I can. And some people would call me absolutely crazy. You know, they're like, Courtney, you wait on hold for clients to get information. And it's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have AI software that's doing that for you. No,
No.
I don't even have an assistant. I'm a one-man show right now. I do it all. And sometimes, it takes more time to nurture those relationships when, other people would just be like, man, I just need to prospect, prospect, prospect and grow my business wider. And I'm more of I want to grow my
You
business
wanna go deep.
deeper and take care of my people, and the rest will work itself out.
You're scuba diving, you're
Yeah.
not water skiing.
Amen.
Yeah. So this is remarkable. So 28 years old, clearly entrepreneurial, and just a really professional businesswoman that is grabbing what you want, and not just grabbing what you want. What you want is by creating an amazingly different experience for your clients is then
Yeah.
giving you what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do. I mean, every conversation that I have at some point comes up to, wow, I didn't know that was out there. Wow, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's a good point. Never thought about that before. So, it's those conversations that just make my career worth
Right.
it. Not to say every day is a walk in the park.
Right. Believe me, no one listening to this thinks that anything that you're doing be a walk in the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
we get that in my industry. So people think real
exactly.
estate,
Oh,
they think it's
exactly.
just fun and houses and cars,
You
and
don't just show open
that's
houses all day?
easy with your little dog and
Your little
yeah,
dog?
right. And deals
Yeah.
just fall from the sky. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think anyone that's really, sleeves rolled up in it, making it happen in health insurance, I don't think anyone has a misconception that that's an easy walk in the park.
Yeah.
But you get satisfaction from it,
Yeah. But I do
and you're
think there's a
willing.
misconception that people are just in insurance for the money.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that going through a broker is going to cost them. I've talked to so many people that are like, what portion of my premium is going to you? And that's not how it works. Like, I
Right.
get
Right.
a referral bonus from the companies. And that's how I get paid. But remember, I put my name on my company. You go
Right.
on to Facebook, and if I have upset someone, that's going to come back directly onto my person, my character, my identity. And so there's no way that I'm going to stand behind a health plan that I am not fully confident in.
Right.
I have new plans that are added to my portfolio all the time, but until I've researched it, until I have asked all the questions, I'm not going to promote it.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way with my clients is, hey, I have a one health plan for myself. That doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean it's the right plan for you.
Right.
But I have these other resources out there that are for your specific needs.
Well, here's what's really interesting. You had something occur last year where you're this dynamic business owner building your company and giving amazing client and customer service, right? So word gets out, and you were actually invited by an organization called Six Figure Chicks to write your story
Yeah.
and actually become a published author in
Yes.
a book. And
Yes.
that was really because of people taking note of what you were doing and the fact that the way you were approaching it and the experience people were having with you was so different that people brought it to the attention of the organization.
Yeah.
So you're now an international best-selling author.
Mhm.
Can you share with everyone what was that like?
It's still so fresh, and, like, I'm, like, tearing up because I don't know, it's just talking about yourself is hard. Bragging about yourself is hard, and just having that title under there is just unreal. I have thought about writing a book one day and just thought, maybe 20, 30 years down the line, I'll get an opportunity to
Right.
share my story, but never would I have thought before I was 30 years old, I'm gonna be an international bestseller. Like, it's very surreal. But I made a decision whenever I was presented with that opportunity that I wasn't going to make this a self-help chapter. Wasn't going to make this here's A, B, C, D, the things that I did to be successful in my business. But I took a different approach. And again, being a Christian, my faith has been instilled in me for a very long time, but it really took off about 3 years ago when I moved to Arizona from Texas. And so when I was asked to write my chapter, I was just overwhelmed with the question of what is my legacy going to be? What am I going to leave behind? Am I going to leave behind? Yeah, she was a great insurance agent. She was very knowledgeable. She, was a college educated woman, independent. All those things are great. But I believe that when I die, I'm going to heaven and I am going to be with Yahweh, the Lord of Lords, the God of gods. And I want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. And so I prayed and said, God, don't let any word come onto this paper that is not from you. And I just pray that everything that I write in here glorifies you and does not boost me up or, you put me in the spotlight. And so my chapter is my testimony. And I shared it with my friends and family, and they, going off of the title of the book, Six Figure Chicks, were expecting something very, very different. They were expecting, what did you do with your business? And we can definitely talk about that too. Kind of reading it back, I'm like, man, did I make it sound like I just found success overnight? Because that totally wasn't what happened. But my heart was to emphasize that nothing that I've made or have been successful in has been my own doing. Like
Right.
everything that my life has brought up to this point has been from the Lord. And it's a blessing to be able to see that. I mean, He gives us eyes to see, ears to hear, hearts to understand. And until 3 years ago, I would have told you that I identified as anxious, depressed. People were like, "What? But you're athletic, you're outgoing, you're this and that." But it was the heart
The
posture
heart.
that I was really struggling with a lot of things. I had a lot of similar experiences to you. Never went into a marriage, but did have some very unfortunate things happen to me early on, and it just resulted in a very negative outlook on the world, on life itself, and I just didn't see a purpose. And so God met me where I was at, and my chapter in this book just puts it out there because it's not my story. It's just the one that He gave me.
Right.
And one day we're all going to be gone, and that's what I wanted to leave behind, was not anything that I could have done or created or earned, but just the way that He brought people into my life, and He just changed the way that I thought about myself. Sorry, I did not think that we were going to get emotional.
But it's very powerful. It's very powerful. I, too, am a woman of faith. Not only is it what you just said of putting people in your life and opportunity in your life, but gave you the grace to be able to see it and gave you the spirit to be able to speak to it and gave you the faith to take the chance with something that, as you said, gave you the ick, like it allowed you to say, hold on, maybe I don't know everything I don't know yet, right? So,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
do think all that came from your faith and the gifts that were given to you. So I understand your perspective.
Yeah, he so has a sense of humor. There's just been so many things that I look back and I'm like, I did not see it going that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just what a crazy journey. And yeah, I can't even fathom, even begin to explain all of the things that I look back and I'm like, wow, that was God. That was God. Like, it's once your eyes are open, you just see everything in a new light. And
Right.
I don't know. The world is it's so broken and we're so separated from, and I get it. The religion and the church hurt is such a real thing. Us Christians, we mess it up all the time. I mess it up all the time. No one is Jesus. No one
That's
is
right.
is
Right.
without sin. We screw up all the time. And then people say, well, all Christians are the same. And so there's a weight to it as well. And sometimes I'm hesitant, when I'm talking to clients because I don't want them to think I'm pushing ideologies on them or anything like that. But there's just a difference in the way people live their life when they believe in the Lord and they believe in the Bible. It's just different.
How much does stewardship factor in for you?
That's so crazy that you even bring that up because that's been such a hot topic with my friends and I. I'm still single, still praying for my future husband and just talking about, okay, whenever you're out in the dating world, like how are you evaluating people? And stewardship is the word that time and time again keeps getting put on my heart. It's that everything in this life does not belong to us. We
Right.
are just stewards
Stewards.
of the time that we have, the money that we have, the resources, the energy,
The gifts, our own
the
talent and gifts,
gifts.
our humor.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
everything.
It's so wild. And so I think that is a huge part of,
Mhm.
not only entrepreneurship, but just life itself is what are you
Life.
doing with the life that you've been given? Because I believe that every breath is God's mercy. I mean, none of us deserve this life. So it's like, what are you going to do with the things that you have in this life? Just speaks volumes to, I mean, your character, but the purpose that God's given you. And it's
Right.
like, I think some people step into that and some people miss out on a lot of opportunities and blessings because, so many different things. It's just so, it's a lot easier to, you've said, to play it safe. It's a lot easier to take the road less traveled than it is to step into that greater purpose. So yes, stewarding the things that you've been blessed with is incredibly vital, in my opinion.
I feel like you are embodying that in the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So it's part of that is that extra mile that you go for
Yeah.
your clients. So the next time, if you're on a 4-hour long wait, if you're feeling frustrated by it, just remember that you are stewarding and using the gifts and the talents that were given to you.
My gosh, yes. Yeah, I appreciate that encouragement because now it's probably going to happen tomorrow. So thanks, Bridget.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Sorry for that. You can blame me later. It's how else does your faith show up in your life?
Everywhere. I mean, I've recently gotten involved in my church. I was uh, convicted last year of, again, what am I doing with my time? Am I just serving myself? So I've started serving and really to pray for the heart of a servant. And I mean, that's how Jesus himself came to this earth. He did not
Right.
come as a king. He came as a servant. And so I've started leading a group of freshman girls at my local church. And I think it's neat because I am one of the fewer single leaders. And so I mean, one of the first questions that the girls asked me when I got there was, are you married? Are you single?
Mhm.
And then their follow-up when they found out I was single was, are you happy? And I was like, man, I am so grateful to be able to say yes. I'm just so content with where I'm at. Like I just am so grateful. There's been so many things. He has shown up a lot in my family over the past few years. My family is still back in Texas, my immediate family. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons for me coming here to Arizona was to explore my faith. My dad's sister, my Aunt Joanne, just always had something different. And her kids just always had that strange, unexplainable sense of peace. When everything else seemed to be going wrong, you could look at them and they could just have this peace beyond understanding that things were going to work out. And I was like, man, I hit a really, really low part in my life post high school and throughout college. Talk about it in my book chapter
Mhm.
of my experience with alcoholism. That was it's genetic. It's something that's in my family history, but I got into that at a very young age. I started drinking at 14, and I mean, I spent the next decade drinking at every point I could, and I lost a lot of good relationships, a lot of good friendships because of those things. And so once I moved over here to Arizona after college, it was just a fresh start. I was able to learn who God is in a new way, in a way that I had never experienced before. Got plugged into my own church, didn't just go straight to the church that my extended family went to.
Mhm.
But now it's just really neat to have conversations with my family back home. I'm almost a year sober, and it's very wild how different I am. And talking to my family and just kind of like honestly revealing things that they didn't know from 10 years ago, and them noticing like, you are a lot more peaceful. Very similar to you, released the idea of perfectionism,
Right.
released the idea that I'm in control at all. Like
Right.
I go into each day like, okay, God, what do you have for me today? Who am I supposed to talk to? Down to like the little things of just like, what do you want me to wear? What do you want me to say? Like, I don't know. So God is moving in so many different aspects of my life, within my family, within my friends. I have a community of God-fearing men and women that I am so grateful for. I'm in a Bible study that meets weekly. And then most recently, I've started a women's life group that was inspired by one of my friends of just like, hey, what are we doing on the weekends? Like, why don't we get a group of girls together on Saturday morning and just pour into each other and make it a safe space to be able to share what we're struggling with, what we could use prayer for, and then also like, what are our wins? How are we encouraging
Right.
each other? Because especially as entrepreneurs, how often are we like, I got to get this thing, I got to get this thing. And then it comes and it goes and we never look back and we never
Yeah, we
celebrate
just
it.
keep going. That's
We just
right.
keep going. It's just the
Right.
next thing. Every day is just a new to-do list. And I'm like, man, God really put it on my heart to slow down, to look around and to see where can we experience these wins, because life is short and they're just these great moments are passing us by. And so that's been really, really sweet to see.
Well, I am so thrilled for you to have over a year uh sober.
Not yet a year, but we're close. It'll be
You're
April.
close. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. I'll say it again. Like
Yeah,
that
I know.
yeah, it's so exciting for me that you are coming up on a year sober. That is it. I hope that you understand it is each day in a row stacked on each other, but that's a huge gift that you have now allowed into your life.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
not by my own strength at all, and I'm not here to say that alcohol is the enemy. I just know that God told me, "You gotta step away." I mean,
Mhm.
I hear it all the time, Jesus drank wine. Jesus did not drink wine like Courtney drank wine because Courtney drank 2 bottles and that wasn't enough, and so,
Right.
it's the self-control aspect, and it's the understanding that there are genetic differences in
Yes.
people, and some people don't struggle with that. And so that's another thing that I've learned is like, hey, your convictions, you're not here to convict to put that on anyone else. You're here to walk in obedience with what you have, because
Mhm.
you probably don't want the conviction that the next person has. It's just we all struggle with our own different things. So yeah, the sobriety journey has been amazing for me. I mean, and I think even being able to say I'm sober is just the blessing that I'm not even tempted anymore.
Right.
And people get confused about that, oh, is it hard? And very rarely. I mean, only at like very large events when like I went to a wedding a couple weeks ago and it seemed like I was the only one in the room. But then the more that you stick to your conviction and your, what's the word?
Decision.
Decision. Thank you. The more that you yet let your yes mean yes and your no mean no, the more confidence you have. And the more you're like, man, I'm not saying anyone else does, but I know 10 years ago, I thought I had to do these things so that I
Right.
could be a certain way, so that I could be a certain person, so that I could make friends, so that people would like me. It's just a freedom. It's such a
Yeah.
freedom to know that I'm not reliant on anything to change the way I feel, or I'm not even reliant on people's opinions of me. Like I have
Right.
my identity rooted in something so much deeper. And so I don't have to be disappointed when things don't go the way I thought they did, because I believe that someone much greater than I am is looking out for me and sees a much bigger picture. So it's really cool. It's so cool.
It is really cool. No, I mean that is just it's so awesome. And physically, you must, I'm assuming, feel better.
Yeah. My gosh. I
Okay.
mean, again, not to say alcohol is the enemy, but it does kind of poison your body and
Mhm.
it takes a toll. And yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was blackout and waking up the next day and just completely dehydrated, and now I have
Right, right.
energy. I wake up early, I get to go to the gym. I remember things. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
really amazing.
Yeah.
Out of everything you've shared, that is one of the biggest things that I'm excited about for you.
Thank you. I pray that, he continues to guide me through it. And again, very grateful for the community of people that I have around me that don't tempt me, and we just do things differently than a lot of people in their mid to late 20s.
Right.
And I mean, I really forgot how to have fun.
Yeah.
I just for a long it felt like a long time throughout high school and college of if there wasn't drinking or drugs, like what's
What
fun
are we
about
doing?
this? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like what's the point? And man, the wholesome fun is just it just brings out your inner child, and it just reminds me that we all still have that like 5-year-old self deep
And
within
that
us.
joy,
And that
that
joy.
natural wellspring of joy is still in there.
Yeah, and so many people, I mean, just, like, harden their lives and believe that they've gotta escape from it, escape from their day to day and or, I don't know, so many different reasons, but I'm just very grateful for where I'm at. Again, the people that God's put in my life and the role that He's given me to encourage other people in their walks, whatever that looks like, because I know it's a journey as well and
Right.
he has different points in people's lives at different times. So yeah, my job, my role, I believe, is just to share the gospel and to point people to God and remind them that He loves them, no matter what people are saying. He greatest thing about God is that He loves us so much, even though we don't deserve it. And so, to anyone that's out there listening, to you specifically, whoever's listening, God loves you. He has a purpose for you, He has a place for you, and He just wants to know you. He created you, He knows you, but just like a parent wants the best for their child and also wants a one-on-one relationship, that's how God wants to live with us. And it's so sweet once you walk into that and He completely renews your eyes and the way that you see the world and the way that you see yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just wild.
The way you
So,
see yourself and the way you see others.
I mean, yeah,
It's
for those
it's
that are like
remarkable.
on the fence, like just explore it. Just start asking questions. The curiosity is what's going to lead you there. It's not smack a smile on your face and go to church and suck it up. It's ask
Right.
questions. But
Right.
so that's my biggest encouragement to people. I know we
That's an
totally haven't talked
incredible
about health
encouragement.
insurance, but
No, well, yeah, we have,
yeah.
because that's one of the best health insurances is taking care of yourself and seeing yourself and having that relationship
Yes.
and finding peace. And even if
Yeah.
I'd even go so far, Courtney, to say, even if someone listening to us, even if they use a different structure or different language because that feels more comfortable for them.
Right.
Meaning, if they love universe and spirit or nature and mother nature or what, but having the
Openness.
relationship with a force greater than yourself that
Yeah.
is outside of yourself and inside of yourself at the same time.
Exactly.
So I think that is a part of health insurance that probably isn't discussed enough.
Right? Yeah.
Because
I
like you
totally
said,
agree.
listen to what you said. You described how peaceful you feel,
Mm.
how much, more you feel more connected with your own heart, and it changed your
Yeah.
self-perception
Yeah.
and how you make decisions. So I
Yeah.
think in a very roundabout way, we really did.
Yeah.
If anyone was listening to us, if there's particularly a young lady out there that, saw your picture and saw, wow, look how successful she is at 28, and they're listening to us and they've stayed through to this point in the conversation, and they are also having a detrimental relationship with a substance of any
Mm.
kind, what would you say to that young lady as a first step? What is
Mm.
something they could do today to just move the needle or increase their awareness around there is a different way? Tell
Just
someone.
tell someone what is happening. Odds are, if you're addicted to something or you're struggling with something, you're probably hiding it.
Yep.
And that's just a cycle. And that's where the enemy, the bad vibes, whatever you want to label that as, is going to come back and it's just going to make it worse. And
Hmm.
it's going to keep you there and it's going to hold you captive. But when you start talking about it and you let people in, that's when you realize one, I mean, it's cliche, admitting it is the first
Right.
step.
Right. It's a
Is
cliche for a reason.
I know. It's like it's that reflection period of "Hey, we've said that we can kick it. We've tried. Now what?" I mean, I think talking to someone and just letting someone in and then pray.
Mhm.
Whether you feel like you have a relationship with God or your higher power or the universe
Right.
or you don't, pray about it
Yeah.
and know that I mean, I'll just speak on my first experience. It was nothing that I could have done by myself.
Mm,
It was not, but I didn't just white knuckle it. I didn't just say,
right,
I just got to get through the next hour. I got to get through the next 24 hours. It was, God, I can't do this anymore.
right.
I am lost. I'm struggling. I want to end it all. I mean, I was praying for God to end it all, and he interceded, thankfully so. So yeah, just get real and know that you're not alone. There's so many people that are struggling with things out there, but
Yep.
I mean, whenever you start talking about it, you realize that there are resources, that there's help, and that people care. I
People
don't know
care. That's right.
when this lie started happening of like people are just heartless, no one cares about
Right.
anything that's happening. It's like, no,
People care.
they do. They do. You
And
just have
I
to let
would,
them in.
yeah. And I just want to add a little bit more to what you were saying. Tell someone, and that someone could be many different people. It could be someone that's in your immediate family. A lot of
Mhm.
times, and I'm not an expert in this. Let me disclaim first, right?
Right?
It may not be in your immediate family because sometimes it's almost too close.
Yeah.
But there is someone, if you just stop right now and think, somebody will pop to mind, may
Mhm.
not be related, may not be at work, maybe someone that you know tangentially, but you just know that they're the one. Reach
Yeah.
out because we want to hear it. I
Yeah.
have had, it's going to make me cry. I've had the amazing gift of 4 different times people that I'm not related to. I was
Mm.
that person. They reached out and for whatever reason, they knew they could call me and they
That's a
knew
huge
that I would
blessing,
be
and that's a
there.
huge
It was
testament
huge. It's
to
some of
you.
the like out of what has happened in my life, to me, those 4 phone calls and those 4 relationships, that's more valuable to me than like my top sales year,
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
that someone knew that I could be that. So just think for yourself and just tell someone
Yeah.
because it can change your life.
And it does. I think it does each and every time, even if you don't realize it. Like those are little seeds that are happening over time because the more you share your experience, the more you can separate it from your identity. It's,
Right.
hey, I'm struggling with this thing. It doesn't mean I'm labeled an addict for the rest of my life. Like that is not, you are not your addiction. You are not
That's
your
right.
struggle. Like you
Right.
are an individual person. I believe you are a child of the Lord, whether you know him or not. You can be having a bad day. You can be having a selfish moment. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a
Right.
selfish person. Like, separate what's happening in your life and in your circumstances from your core identity. And you'll find that there's so many other people that can relate to you. And then it's a chain reaction. And then you can
That's
help
right.
people. I mean, whenever I started talking about this, I mean, in my small groups and in my church and in my communities, people started to voice up, maybe not in the same light, but they're like, man, your vulnerability
Mhm.
inspired me to also be vulnerable. And
Right.
that's how healing happens. It's like if you keep it under wraps, nothing's going to change. And we were just talking about it, before we hopped on, is people want real, people want authentic.
That's
With all the crap that's out there that's fake and AI is generating this and that, it's like no one wants no one's perfect, no one's flawless. Like, why are we gonna spend so much energy pretending that we are? Like,
right.
put it out there the way that it is, and you'll realize, man, that's human. This is the humankind. Like, man, it's just wild. Like,
It is.
we are meant to have interpersonal relationships and communication. And the more we put on these masks and act like I'm fine, everything's fine, I'm good,
It's all good.
it's
Yeah.
all good. It's like, really? At some point, don't you just get tired? Like, just be real. Just be like, man, I'm not great. And that's okay, And
Yeah.
I'm not hopeless, but I'm struggling right now. And people will be like, yeah, man, tell me about that. Or, yeah,
Right.
man, me too. And that's how, you
We're not
grow.
alone.
You're not
We're not
alone. You're never
alone.
alone.
And even though we're all unique,
Yeah.
we're not unicorns. So, right. So we're a giant cattle herd of unique,
Yeah.
you know, all together, but we're not a
Oh my
unicorn.
gosh.
So, and one of the things I thought when you mentioned, being at the wedding recently, you were not the only one there.
Perfect
You weren't.
example.
Yeah.
Perfect
You
example.
you think to
I'm
yourself,
like,
like, oh my, am I
yeah.
the only one with,
I'm like, everyone's looking at
sparkling
me
mineral
weird.
water? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Everyone's judging me. No, they're not.
No,
Everyone's in
they're
their own
not.
heads.
That's right.
Everyone's
Yeah,
thinking about how
everyone's
they're being
concerned
perceived.
because, of whatever is happening with them and yeah, so
That's
Well,
so funny.
Courtney, thank you. You have touched my heart today. And I just want to thank you so much. As you mentioned, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing the good, the hard, and the big stuff, because that's what makes a difference. So I really want to thank you for being a guest on the Interstate.
Thank you so much, Bridget. You are such a light, such a pleasure to talk to, and I'm so looking forward to everything that you have going on as well. So keep me
And if
posted.
you're listening to this episode, by the way, I'm going to put all of your information wherever you're consuming this podcast. If you want to connect with Courtney for anything she discussed today, you'll be
Yeah.
able to do that in the description wherever you consume this podcast. So if you're listening, I hope you'll join us for another episode. Courtney, I would love it if a year from now, next Easter season, you could come back
Let's
and be a
do it.
guest on the show again. And I'd love to
Let's do
see
it.
what you've accomplished in these coming 12 months.
An annual Easter podcast
I love
episode.
it.
I
Love it.
love that. Thank you so much, Bridget.
So
You're amazing. Let me
I
know if
could
there's
look
anything
forward
I can
to
do to help.
Popeye's fish sandwich every Lent and you coming on at the as a podcast.
Perfect. It's on my calendar. 2027 is on the
Okay.
calendar.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Everyone,
you.
have a great day.